Good afternoon. Good afternoon, viewers. Thank you very much for watching Punchline Africa Television. We have been following the happenings that have been taking place in Bomas of Kenya, where top candidates have been rejected by the IEBC, namely Jimmy Wanjigi, a businessman, a very notorious gun holder with 5 guns, seemed to have landed, and his life has been cut short through the IEBC nomination list. We have also shocks coming in from Muranga, where the governor did not do a thorough research on the running mate. And once your running mate is not clear, you have no second time, because it is your choice. So you should have checked all the laws that govern electoral laws that govern nomination. You can be given a chance on missing papers, but you cannot be given a chance to substitute. There is no substitute on running mate. The whole ticket is, and the law is very funny, the whole ticket is deemed to be gone. So you can't go to court and say, I chose. Then you are yourself not capable, because yes, Miriam.
Doc, I know you've not introduced me, but I really want to catch up with what you're saying. And a very good afternoon to our viewers. What you're saying,
no, I was going to introduce you.
No, because whatever you're saying is very interesting. So before I lose that thought, I want to understand what you're saying. According to the law, because you're coming as a package, the governor and your running mate. So if anything is faulty between the two of you, then that is annulled?
The whole team is thrown out.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. I did not know that.
For example, Jimmy Wanjigi and the lawyer, the running mate has the papers, but the candidate has no papers. So the whole team loses. There is if you have, for example, if you don't have signatures, they were told to go back and bring signatures. Those ones, they gave time, but not today, because today is the last day. There is no more nomination anywhere that will take place after tomorrow. You know that? Miriam?
Yes.
Are you still doubting?
No. I'm listening to you. Today is the last day, the 6th.
There is no nomination of a presidential candidate as today. If you have been rejected today, the only thing you do, you don't fight the people there, go to the court. But it's very sad for you to go before such a panel with your wife, who has been with you for 50 years, and then they say, but you are still graduating. Why did Wanjigi do all these things much earlier? You know? The reason they have given there is very, very interesting, very funny. Now, for Kangata, for certificate, whether it is valid or not valid, they give you a chance to produce. The committee can suspend, Miriam, can suspend your nomination and go and write to the board. The board comes with a verdict. That's okay. But for this one of Kangata, he chose someone whom she knew was working and continued to work, did not resign, broke the law of the elections. You see?
The deadline was the 9th of February this year.
Yes, and this person has been working until just last week. So how do you expect her? She didn't resign. You just picked her and brought her. She never resigned from a government position. On time, the deadline passed. It is like having a fundraising today when the deadline was in November, and they find you having a fundraising.
And Kangata, being the lawyer that he is, why did he overlook this very important aspect as far as the electoral
Not
laws
only a lawyer,
is
but
concerned?
somebody,
Did he not know, or was it a poor oversight on his part?
somebody who has a PhD, is a PhD holder in law, not just a simple lawyer. He holds a PhD.
Did he not know that his running mate did not resign as per stipulated, the time that was given?
No, because they thought, they have assumed that Chebukati is our man.
Okay.
But
maybe they assumed, IBC is too lazy to do the
Chebukati is
background.
now giving. All these guys who are being removed are faulting Raila Amolo Odinga. They are not faulting Ruto. Because they were placed there, Miriam, they were placed there to attack Raila Amolo Odinga. You see? A court. A court is not blaming the system, is blaming Raila Odinga.
But he did not bring the signatures that everybody else brought.
Yeah, Wanjigi has just now blamed Raila Odinga for his problems.
Wanjigi at this point is a non-issue, I believe. I mean, he has not even graduated.
So there you are. Can we do a takeaway?
Okay.
Do we do a takeaway or we continue with this breaking news? This is very important. And the media, there are so many things.
Before you do the takeaway, there's a conversation we were having here with the colleagues here, and we were trying to understand, should a person like Sonko would have been allowed to run again in Mombasa, would he have started a new term and maybe serve another 2 terms in Mombasa, or the one that he has served here in Nairobi was enough? This thing of now, maybe people will think, if I'm not wanted here, I can as well go and, I look for an elective position in another place. Would that have counted, or what does the Constitution say? Or these are just some of the things the Constitution had not foreseen that could happen? Should Sonko had gone ahead to be, cleared to run for Mombasa governorship, would he have served for 2 terms, or the term he had served in Nairobi, would that have counted as if he has served a complete term? Our Constitution did not foresee this madness that you're seeing now in our political dynamics. Yeah. Okay, we seem to be having a bit of a technical hitch there from Dr. Matsanga's side, but I think these are just some of the issues that perhaps our Constitution, had not foreseen as far as these positions are concerned, even as we look at the pitfalls of African, politics that is marred with, corruption, dishonesty, and a lot of times our political class don't even have the agenda. They're not agenda driven, and also they have an attitude of revenge, because they are the people who are in power, and now we are in power, so we have to sort of, get back at them and some of the things they did and all that. So this is counterproductive as far as the development agenda in the continent is concerned. So we shall be waiting to see that. But that is just the breaking news. So I don't know what the Constitution says about Kangata. I've been trying to look at the Constitution and the election of county governors and their deputy and see exactly what the Constitution says. But the Constitution seems to be silent on that, because I think they did not oversee a case whereby the governor will come and the deputy will be disqualified under grounds that are very well spelled out in the Constitution. And for Kangata, he knew very well because he is a senior lawyer. So for him to have had such poor oversight and maybe assumed the IEBC is too busy to do some of this background check, then I think that is a good lesson for him next time, perhaps, and for many of other political class in this country. So, all right, I'm just trying to see if I can get any information on that, in response to what that breaking news, what has just happened. And if at all the Constitution has a cure for that, and if at all Kangata will be allowed to run, as or get another, running mate, or what will be his fate, or because now his running mate has contravened the law, if that disqualifies that ticket, because you come as a pair. So that is interesting, because when you see the Constitution, is a bit elaborate on the governor, and when it comes to the deputy, there's not so much, okay? But all of them operate and they qualify under, if they're able to be elected as members of parliament, that is the same yardstick that is used, to be elected as the head of the county government. So just waiting. That is according to Article 180 of the Kenyan Constitution. Let me just read you there. The county governor shall be directly elected by the voters registered in the county on the same day as the general election of members of parliament, being the second Tuesday in August in every 5th year. To be eligible for election, that is number 2, section 2, to be eligible for election as county governor, a person must be eligible for election as a member of the county assembly. Not as the members of parliament. Okay. All right. So, Doc, we apologize for that. You're back, so you can have the takeaway now.
Before we go to takeaway, so many interesting things are happening.
Another breaking news?
Yeah.
What has happened?
Miriam, it was very serious that I was talking about. We were talking before we were cut off. That what happens to the Sonko if he goes to Mombasa? Does he do a second?
Does he?
Second term? Does he start? Sonko did not complete his 2 terms. He was caught midway in the second term.
In the first term.
Was it the first term?
Yeah. Remember we had Kidero and then Sonko?
Yes.
Yeah. So
in the first term.
So if he had to be elected in Nairobi, in Mombasa, so whatever the number of years he had served.
Mombasa, I was talking like this whole thing started badly. We started saying everybody should go to the rest. Now the complication of removing people who have got those problems is becoming even harder. You not say that. We said everybody can go to the rest. The Constitution has a lot of lacuna. The Kenyan Constitution has plenty of lacunas. Lots of lacuna that anybody can even say. That's the only final word I can tell you. You need to overhaul this Constitution. Make it a reality to Africa. It's not a reality to Africa. It's not. The Constitution is so. Look at Miriam. Look at that. Now, if Sonko goes to Mombasa, is he going to finish 2 terms, or he finishes the other term, or what? Okay, why you say the case is ongoing in the court, but Waruke's case is also ongoing in the court. He has made an appeal, but Sonko has made an appeal to the Supreme Court. So are they not the same courts? So are these not the pitfalls of elections in Africa? Double standards. We don't. adhere to the constitutions. We destroy the same constitutions as they come. We become masters of our own destiny. Look at the way things have been done here. Medium, considering all this, if I were President Uhuru Kenyatta and if I were Wafula Chebukati, I love this country so much. Do you know what I would have done? Think for me, what would I have done?
Stopped the election.
Yeah.
Under what grounds? Because the constitution is very strict on what can make an election be suspended.
But the constitution does not, the constitution is not Kenya, is not the nation. The nation is bigger than the constitution. It's governed by the constitution. But there is a nation. The plight of the nation is at cliffhanger politics. The plight of the nation, you see, no, listen. Look at the words that Mr. Wanjigi is simply going to Murima, Judge Murima, and then he will get the order. And this election will be no more. I'm telling you. He's going to get the order. You wait, by tomorrow, there will be an order saying there is a problem. Candidate X must be stopped.
But the law is very clear. You must have cleared, your degree. You must have your degree certificate, not wait to have, not maybe in the future. You must present that.
Have you seen the law? The law is very clear.
Oh, this law is just clear to a section of us. Because the things that are very straightforward.
For example, if you have raped someone, the law is clear that you should be arrested. Any man raping a person should be arrested. But the person goes to the same judge and gets anticipatory order. Said, don't come to arrest me. So you tell me, is that not the law, Miriam? It's the law. The law is clear that you must have a degree. But Wanjigi is telling us his degree is going to come out in September. But September is not August.
It's not August. It's not now.
Yeah. But now, instead of going into the vengeance, he has turned the vengeance on Raila Odinga. The whole minutes there, he explained, he was talking about Raila Odinga is the one who was behind all this. Have you seen that? A court yesterday, instead of accusing the IEBC, he is accusing Raila Odinga that he wants to challenge Azimio because they don't have natural members. They have no members. And yet he has not even accused the UDA, which recently has no members. So they have sat down. Ruto says, we have our members. You know, it's Ruto playing a game behind all this with Wanjigi and this. They are playing to frustrate Raila Odinga not to be on the ballot. That's what they are trying to do. You get my point? That's what they are trying to do. Mwangi Wairia, didn't you see him point fingers at Raila Odinga? I want you to interact with me, please. Didn't you see him point fingers at Raila?
Yeah,
it is against Raila. Everybody is a fight.
Yeah.
So why are they not pointing fingers to William Ruto? That's the question. The pitfalls of elections in Africa. Someone is manipulating someone somewhere on remote control. And if that's why I've asked you a very cardinal question. If I were President Uhuru Kenyatta and our Wafula Chebukati, seeing this type of election and this confusion, you just, maybe God created me differently. I would move to, yes, it is true, God created me differently because I can't be a president of the world. Neither can I be President Uhuru Kenyatta. But in my small capacity as Dr. Matanga, you know what I will do? Was I'll just go up and if I were Chebukati and say, thank you very much, Kenyans, I can't handle these elections. So sorry, Mr. President, you can find a way either to say my deputy can be the acting, but not me. And you know there you move very well and you wash your hands like a Pontius Pilate. Because me, the way that I'm seeing this one, these guys are going to court, they will use the money. And we shall have no election. Already, the Chief Justice was asking the questions. Is it today that she has asked the questions as to whether, there's a place where the Chief Justice has asked the questions. Was it yesterday? As to whether Chebukati has complied to everything that was issued by the Supreme Court.
I think sometimes last week, yeah.
Eh?
Sometimes back last week on Thursday or Friday.
But it appeared on the papers yesterday. I saw it somewhere. So when you look at that, Miriam, again, is a tragedy that those questions are going to be raised and nobody is going to answer them. Someone will go back and agree with, the judges will agree with the panel, with the petitioner, and they nullify the elections. So what is the use of you going to vote twice? I don't do is stop it. I've been on that thinking for a long time. Because not very many things are going to work well. But there you are. I do my takeaway. Okay. Fellow Africans, elections in Africa is a new concept. It's a concept that we took over from our colonial masters. Can I stop first?
All right.
You can see.
Yes. Some background disturbance. Okay, I think it's okay now. It's clear now.
I can.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Let me start. Fellow Africans, elections in Africa are held every 5 years. But every 5 years, there is also a cycle of violence. A cycle of violence which accompanies before, during, and after elections. The pitfalls of our elections in Africa originate from the handling of the entire exercise of elections. Most of you across the continent of Africa have seen how elections have been so emotive to the degree that it is one of the things that brings each country to a standstill whenever election dates are announced. Across the continent, therefore, several conflicts have come as a result of elections, during elections, and after elections. The campaigns have never been peaceful in some parts of Africa. In some parts of Africa, the electoral bodies have become part and parcel of the executive. Therefore, it makes a pitfall of our elections. One of the reasons is that the electoral commissions become a party to the voting instead of a party to being referees, independent, impartial, transparent. But then ourselves, we have to blame ourselves as Africans. We elect people to such positions without scrutiny of their characters. But we also elect MPs, presidents, without scrutiny of their past background. We go to the ballot. If you have been told even the person who has taken the nomination won it is a thief, you go and elect him. And then you say you love your faith. Africa has turned into a laughing stock itself for electing even people who have cases, active cases, who have no personal integrity. You find them on the ballot and they are going to be elected. As you go through these elections across the continent of Africa, and especially in Kenya, where we have in the next 29 days or so, we shall have an election conducted in this country, in the country called Kenya. But we have candidates that have very serious gaps of personal integrity, who have not actually said, because of our personal integrity, I'm not going to stand. We have brought people, you have an active case, the active case, a case is a case. It doesn't matter which one it is, but a case is a case. As long as it is active, in normal democracies, you step aside and wait for the outcome, then return to do your work. It's there in Africa where there are no pitfalls in elections. Show me one country that has no pitfalls of elections. That one country is South Africa. It's a model of peaceful transition, peaceful registration of voters, peaceful campaigns, exchange of verbal words. That does not divide the nation. But in most of the African countries, opposition leaders are bumped off, some are detained, some are allowed to talk, but not to talk in certain places. Words of hatred exchange. These are some of the hallmarks of pitfalls of insanity, of elections in Africa. I therefore submit that Africa, from the editor's memo, editor's point, Africa is a place where we shall take time, where democracy evolves. But as it evolves, let it also be learned that evolving democracy does not mean separation of other ingredients of the previous African nature. We used to elect our chiefs peacefully. Isn't it time, therefore, to think about whether Africa can have elections, yes or no? Thank you. I submit.
Very well, and thank you so much for your time this afternoon. I'll see you later with more news from across the continent. Bye-bye for now.